Alright, hi everyone. This is Festival Tycoon. As you can see, it's a music festival management game with some extra RTS gameplay elements. And I think in this video I'm just building a festival to give you an overview of what the game has to offer and what the game is. And yeah, I think I'll start with this map. This is a desert map. And I'm going to build a festival just so you see what the game has to offer at the moment and what you can do as a player. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I'm doing and why I'm doing certain things, because I think it's interesting for you maybe to see what my ideas and my thoughts behind all the mechanics I implemented were. So yeah, without further ado, I think we'll get started. I'm going to build an entrance first, obviously, because without an entrance, you're gonna have a bad time. And let me just switch on the grid. And let's see, I think I make something like this over here. This should work like that, for example. This is not going to be a huge festival. It's large, but it's not huge. And I think we are good with one entrance. And then I'm going to fence it out a little bit. You have to fence it out a lot in this game. Fences are important because crowd control is quite an important aspect of the game. And your visitors will go anywhere you haven't put fences down, basically. So you better make sure to have a lot of fences. All right. They are entering from here. As you can see, here's the arrow. They are entering from this side, and then they're accessing the actual festival area down here, actually. Yeah. So this is the spawn point here. The visitors arrive. And I should probably mention everything you see here is this is a version of the game which is in development, and it's a work in progress version, and it's not finished at all. So there might be some, for example, this bus station here. This is an old asset which I made, versus the assets over here are from my two awesome artists. And you can see the visual differences quite a lot. And there are some other assets in the game which are still made by me. But as I said, it's a work in progress and it's in development. But yeah, just so you know why they have a visual difference. Yeah, all right. So, let's see. I plan on doing 2 stages here, 2 small ones, so we can have parallel concerts running. And I think I'm going to place the first one over here, because here it's a good place. Maybe like that, actually. This would work. I could place one over here, like that. Yeah, and then one over here, so we get this very nice backyard actually behind the stages, where we can put all the backstage area. Yeah, awesome. All right. And maybe this location has a little bit of a story behind it, which is that if you see, you can see this is those stones, those rocks over here, they are locked. I can't demolish them. And the idea behind it is basically, this is a little bit of a nature reserve area, and here you have to implement those stones, those rock formation into your festival rather than demolishing it, just to make things a little bit more interesting and a little bit nicer. And there are some other locations in the game already which offer basically or similar aspects. Later on there will be different locations where each location has, for example, some special setting to it, I'd say. For example, like at a nuclear power plant, or at a something like Stonehenge or stuff like that, where you can really make very custom and very interesting festivals around those locations. All right, so let me just grab the fence again and go over here, and I'll just very quickly make this. Yeah, sure. All right, so the next big thing I want to place down are the tent areas. And let's see, as you can see, areas need to be at least 8 by 8 units large. And you can see down here in the bottom right corner how many visitors will be able to stay at this area. And it increases each 8 units. So making it 15 by 8 is kind of not ideal, while 16 by 8 would be better. So I want to make sure it's 16 by 58, 56 is the ideal size. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it 24, and then over here another one with 32. So we get a gap in here, because making those areas too large isn't ideal either, because if I click here, there is a quality. Each building and each area and everything in the game has a quality to it. And the quality tells how much your visitors like to interact here. And buildings are, they get influenced by other buildings, for example, like by the environment. And this stage, for example, produces a negative environment value, while it produces a very high noise value and a large scenery and stuff like that. And areas, those tent areas, don't like it to be in a noisy area, because people want to sleep here, and so it's ideal to not have it too loud. And to get rid of the noise, for example, we can place down trees. We could say, or let's do it with cacti here, because desert, you know, we can place down those cacti, and I want to not have it fixed in scale. They should be in a, yeah, let's see, they should be in a random scale, and I will spread them out a little bit. Over here, let's spread them out a little bit, like that, for example. That should work. And let's rotate them. Yeah, sure. And this, I think you can't see it right now because it's too little of an impact, but those reduce the noise around the area. All right. So now that we have a stage, 2 stages rather, and an entrance and an area, I could potentially save the game. Let's say, being creative here. Let's say we save it and we could run the game now, or the festival rather. We could go over here and say start festival, yeah, and then our visitors would come. At the moment 224 visitors would arrive, because things like ticket sales and the quality impacting the actual amount of visitors at the moment isn't a thing yet in the game. This is very work in progress, and therefore everyone who could come would come in this version of the game. Later on there will be a mechanic where you have to sell tickets, and where you can do early bird tickets, for example, to get money up front, but you have to fulfill certain requirements to make your visitors happy and stuff like that. But yeah, now what I want to do is I'll make a center, a huge a court, basically, a square in the middle of the festival, and I have those sculptures in the game. You can see there is a shark, and then there's those monkeys, yeah. And I'll make a festival called let's call it Animal Kingdom Festival. Well, I have my microphone in front of me, that's why typing is a little bit hard. All right. And I hope there is no festival in real life which is called like that, because I'm just making things completely up out of my mind, and I'm not trying to replicate anything out there. But yeah, let's make a main square. And for this main square, I'm basically going to place down some food and drink booths. And yeah, so your visitors have something to go at. Let's start with a coffee booth because it's quite important, and a beer booth. So I think, in my opinion, those are the two most important things. So yeah, but I'll place down a lot more. And as you can see, there are already quite a lot of those booths in the game. And let's place another one. All right, so we can offer drinks. And then let's see, food. Let's offer some food. How we make this? Probably like that over here. You have to think of the crowd arriving, because this is quite ideal because it's spread out and everyone arriving is there's huge space in front of it, and it's not getting too crowded over here later on. But if I place the food booth, for example, like that, it's getting very, very, very crowded in this gap down there in this alley. So I want to make sure they're spread out quite a lot, maybe like that. Now I place the same twice. Let's go like that, and then like that, and like that. All right, so this is a food and drink court. And when I click on this is the interactable tab, where it tells you everything related to your visitors using this booth. And as you can see, we have 150 in this case cans, and the quality of this building is 2.2, and it's clean, and the price is $4, and it's not set to VIP only. When I set it to VIP only VIP visitors can access the building and can use it. And yeah, I won't do this at the moment because VIP isn't actually, there are no VIP visitors yet. And when I click here, I can see the impact of all the food and drink buildings on the map. And as you can see, for example, down here isn't actually anything. So if someone is thirsty down here, it's quite bad because they're getting unhappy. The visitors are getting unhappy if they have to move somewhere outside of the radius. So I want to make sure later on that down there probably is a food and a drinks wagon as well, or rather booth. Those are very new assets. They are just 1 week old or so. And actually, let me show you. There is a sculpture in the game I added. This is this golden beer wagon. And this is basically the first ever asset I made for the game. And it just got retired last week when all those awesome new booths came. And I thought it would be a nice addition, like a little bit of an inside joke to have this golden statue of the first asset which I ever made for the game. So that's why I maybe say wagon sometimes, while those are actually booths. All right. Hello everybody, if you just joined in, this is Festival Tycoon. It's a music festival management game, and we are just in the process of building a small festival over here with around 220 visitors, and we just finished the first food and drink locations for our visitors to have a great time at. And now the next thing I want to do is I want to add some toilets and some showers so they have their basic facilities available to them. I know that they need, and you can see again the radius here, and if I place it here, down there, for example, it's not super ideal because a lot of visitors down here won't be happy to access it. So you want to spread them out quite a bit, and that's what I'm going to do. And that's also why I left a gap down in this, between the two areas. But yeah, let's place a couple of them here. And let's place some of them down here. Maybe like that, and like that. And let's see where we can place. Let's remove this cactus over here, and let's do another 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and over here you see a lot of different options. You can, for example, get a look at all the entrances, or have a look at all the stages and their radius. And we can also have a look at all the, let me just see here, all the hygiene buildings. And we see here's a little gap and here's a little gap, but I don't really mind at the moment. And I know, because I'm the developer, I know that at stages they also need quite a lot of toilets. So I'm going to place some down here. Again, not ideal, but it works. All right. And then showers. They don't need too much showers, so I think I'm going to use this place over here. And as you just could see, the game is in development. It's not a finished version and it's not a finished game. And there might be some problems or some small bugs down the road while playing it. But in general, we can build the festival quite finished actually. And there are some other mechanics not implemented, like for example ticket sales. But yeah. It's not ideal, but it works for now, I think. Showers are not needed too much, so yeah. Sometimes when there's a stage and the agents, the AI is in a mosh pit, they require showers afterwards. So it's sometimes a good idea to place some showers near a stage. So let's just do this over here and maybe over here, so they can get a shower after being in the mosh pit. All right, let's fence this out a little bit more. And no fixed rotation, no number, no separation. All right. And over here as well, but we don't have to go this far. Like that, maybe? Yeah, perfect. Those small fences you see here, they are getting removed after the game, after you start the festival. If I click here, the festival starts and they get removed. This is just a placeholder during building and construction, so you know as a player, all right, this is the space required in front of the stage, or same for the entrances. This is required in front of the entrances in order to have enough space for all your visitors. And when I start some build process, you can actually see those are some blocked areas where you can't build anything, because here is the stage area and here the agents having fun at concerts, as well as here they are waiting. When entering, they are waiting for the entire group, and then they're moving to their specific place where they set up their tent. Okay, so next I want to place down some activities, so your agents have something to do. And as I mentioned before, there are some old assets in the game, and this is one of them. This is an asset made by me and not by my fellow artists. So they might look a little bit different and have a little bit of different art style, as you can tell. Does this make sense? No, it should be over here actually. And this one should be over here, I think. Still not better, but better. Those are old assets which I made versus these assets which my artists made. All right, they have, this is not ideal, to be honest. I'll place them in a better way because I know that there will be a lot of people accessing them. Let me start with the larger one. This is a beach bar, and let's place it down here in this corner because it's quite large. Start with this one, and there are merchandise shops where the bands can sell their stuff. And then there is those activities where your visitors basically can have fun while there is no concert. Yeah. And then there are those phone chargers, for example, which I'll place down a few of them, and those photo booths you might have already seen in some GIFs I recorded lately, and yeah, stuff like that. Let's just switch to day again. As you can see, you can in the build mode, you can set the time as you wish, and you can make everything pretty for you, and then you can, for example, take some great screenshots of everything. And apparently this light is set to be on exactly at 6:30, so we get a little flickering here. But yeah, also there's a screenshot feature where you can just take a snapshot. Yeah. All right, so now there are only two things left actually to do. First, let's save the game just very quickly. There are only two things left to do, and this is basically beautification of this entire area and booking bands and assigning them. So let's start with the bands. And I know I have two small stages, so I'll just filter for small stage, and then I'm going to basically book everything available to me, because in this version I have more or less infinite money, as you can see over here. So let's just book them, and I'll just explain a little bit of what these tiles show you. So here's the genre. The band has a genre, and this is the icon for it. It's currently color coded, but it will most likely be icon coded, to say so, later on. Here is the popularity of this band. Popularity has a range from 0 to 10, where 10 is the maximum popularity and 0 is the minimum. And the more popular a band, the more visitors it attracts, and the more the larger stages it needs. For example, let me just show you. This is a popularity of 8.7, and it requires a large stage, and it's pricier, and it has more needs and requirements, and it plays for a longer time. While the small bands I'm booking over here, they are quite cheap, and they play for 1 hour, and they have also needs, and they use small stages. And down here, this reputation is quite an interesting mechanic. Every time you book a band and the band actually plays on stage, let me just check. All right. Every time you book a band and the band plays on your festival, the reputation is increased, and the higher the reputation between you and the band, the more benefits you get by booking this band. And when you book, for example, if I choose this Compass Popping Street Artists band, and I make sure they appear in every one of my festivals, their popularity will increase, and they will get more famous, and they will, for example, play longer times, and they require larger stages. But also my reputation with the band increases, and the higher the reputation, the lower the price, for example, in comparison to their popularity. So you can really, you can push bands, and you can create bands' careers actually. And if you start out with a very small festival like we are doing right now, you can book, you can't afford large bands and pricey bands, expensive bands, so you have to take the small ones and the small bands which are very cheap. For example, these Toothbrush Sisters, they are very, very unpopular, and they don't cost, they cost $2,000. And yeah, but if you book them on 10 festivals, they will get more famous and they will increase in their popularity, and at some stage they will probably be a world famous band, and you have a very good relationship to them, so they really like you and you really like them, and they bring you a lot of visitors at your festival while costing not too much money. And yeah, there's a lot of benefits from pushing bands actually. This is a very important mechanic for the game, and yeah, I just wanted to mention it here because I think I didn't before. So yeah, I'm going to book them and them and them and them as well. Alright, and now we need to assign the bands. I'm just going to rename these stages. This is small stage 1 and this is small stage 2. Alright, so I know which stage is which. Alright, small stage 1 let's do first. So let's maybe say, you see, we could filter here again. If we have multiple stages with different sizes, we can filter here again, and we can filter the set length and the needs. Maybe I talk a little bit about needs very quickly. So here are the needs and here are the requirements. Those are different things. And bands have needs, for example, a backstage container, a merchandise shop, and a laser show. And if you fulfill these needs, the reputation with this band will increase. The more you fulfill, the more reputation you get. Meaning that a band which has a lot of needs is actually good for you if you can fulfill it. Because then the more you fulfill them, the more reputation you get. While requirements are, those are hard requirements. If this isn't fulfilled, the band will not play on stage, or they will probably make a no-show, or they will, for example, make a rage appearance where they smash the guitars and everything. And so you want to make sure you definitely fulfill the requirements, but you don't have to fulfill the needs of the band. This is quite important here. So yeah, let's plan. And I want to make a more rockier stage and a more relaxed stage, yeah, or a more electronic stage rather. So let's start with the rock stage. Here we have punk. This is folk, and EDM, techno, and EDM. Yeah, let's make this, and let's remember, all right, we are until 3 p.m. So let's start maybe from 5 p.m. with this one, and this one, and then this one, and let's make a gap in here. This and that. All right, awesome. You can see our genre rating is quite low. This is because we booked so many different genres, and the distance between EDM and metal, for example, we have a metal band over here, this is metal I think, is quite large, and therefore our genre rating is quite low. The music rating is simply the quality of all the bands combined, and the festival rating is the music rating multiplied by the genre rating, which gives you the overall quality of your festival, which is based on those bands you booked and you assigned. If you don't assign a band, you can see the genre rating changes. But as I have them assigned, yeah, let's very quickly save again. And yeah, so welcome everyone if you're new, and if you just joined in, this is Festival Tycoon, a music festival management game with additional RTS gameplay elements. and we are about to make a festival pretty. We just booked bands and we just set up everything to fulfill the requirements and the needs of the visitors. And now we are going to make it pretty. And for that I can use the scenery overlay. And as you can see, scenery is quite good over here, where those rock formations are. They add a lot of scenery because they are like a... This is the story behind this location. It's a nature reserve, and in here the scenery adds a lot of... the rock formations add a lot of scenery to this location. But when I click a building, this coconut shy, for example, you can see that the quality isn't too high actually. You want at least a quality of 1 to make your visitors happy, because everything below 1 will decrease the quality or the happiness of your visitors. So you want to have at least 1. And we're going to do this, we are going to achieve this with every building actually. And when I click here, I can see why it's negative. And here, for example, it's negative because this one is so much better. This one is a 1.2, actually 1.3, while this one is just a 0.8. And that's because the toilets over here produce so much waste and trash, as you can see on the overlay, that this building is still quite bad. So what I want to do is I'm going to go into decorations, and then I'm, for example, placing down flower beds. And yeah, those add a lot of scenery. And let's see. Yeah, as you can see, we immediately increased the value here. It's 1.6 now, which is all right, I'd say. And this is quite good, quite good, quite good. This is rather bad, and as well is this, I guess. Yeah. So let's use a light chain over here. Those are really good, maybe a little bit overpowered at the moment. And as you can see, it immediately increased it. And if we click here, we can see where our visitors will access the building. So I won't place anything down here, but I can place flower beds down here, for example. So I'll do that. And let's just use this line mode for that. If I press 2 on the keyboard, there is a preset where it sets me immediately into top-down perspective. And yeah, this is a little bit better now. I think that's all right. And then I think this one is also not too bad. All right, but let's just very quickly make probably... Yeah, let's do another flower bed here this time. This one. All right. And just for the sake of visuals, let's fence it out. Or not, if it doesn't work. This doesn't let me down here because it's colliding, but it doesn't matter. All right. So let's see. These one are good, but I will still place down some light chains over here because I like the look of them. Does this work? And over here. And maybe we are lucky. No, we are not. But this offers a great opportunity to place down, as you can see in the top here, this is the Animal Kingdom Festival we are building here. And so I place down our mascot on the main square, and also probably here at the stage. and also at this stage. All right, awesome. Let's just switch to day a bit more, or afternoon. All right, so I think we should be good to go. There is obviously a lot more you could place down, but this is more a show-off than a very detailed playthrough. So I'll just start the festival now, and we can see, or we will see, that our visitors will appear here. And yeah, see you very soon at the running festival. All right, hi there. If you just joined, this is Festival Tycoon, and we just started our festival. And this is the first group. Let me just deactivate the grid. This is the first group of visitors arriving, and they will get over here, I think, and they will set up their tent. Nah, actually they are getting over here, and they will set up their tent, and then they will enjoy the day at the festival. So yeah, let me probably talk a little bit about what the idea behind everything will be. I think I'll just follow them along, so you get a look at what they are doing the whole day. Yeah, what the idea is that now, as the festival is running, the player has to handle everything. And for example, those buildings, they have a stock value, and burger for breakfast, and they have a stock value, and if a building is empty, you have to restock it. And visitors are generating trash while throwing away, maybe you can see it when they are throwing away their cup or their burger, they are generating trash. And you have to keep your festival clean, and so your visitors are happy. And there are a lot of other things. Yeah, here's some trash, for example. And those are all things you have to handle. And there will be a lot more of those tasks to handle. For example, you have to you have to welcome bands, and they will arrive at a special entrance, and then you have to assign them to their specified backstage container and stuff like that. And as this festival is running, there will be more and more tasks, and you have to make sure that everything is running smoothly. But there will be a moment when you can't do it as a player, because you are not able to do all of this at your own. And when this moment appears, you can get workers doing it for you. And those workers cost money, but they are more efficient in doing that. And as the festival gets bigger and bigger, you can place down waste management and a warehouse, for example, and everything gets more into a logistic thing. And your work, the festival is running more and more autonomously, while you have to handle, for example, bands yourself. You can't put someone else doing it, because you're the manager, and bands want to talk to the manager when arriving. And those are the ideas for what you're doing in the live mode, actually. Oh, the concert is starting. As you can see, there is the mosh pit, and they're having a great time. Yeah, even when I click here on the stage, I can see what bands are scheduled and when. And now it's 12. And these are the compass popping street artists. And next will be Smooth. And then there will be Y Badgers. Why? And when I click a visitor, or this is a little bit broken here, but you can actually see what bands they are here for. And at the moment I set it so that every visitor is here for every band, basically. That's the whole idea behind it, because it's fun to watch concerts, and in this version of the game it doesn't make sense to do anything else. So but later on, certain visitors will only have certain favorite bands, and there will be visitors who like rock more than metal, and there will be visitors favoring more popular bands, and the more popular a band is, the more visitors will have the band as a favorite band, and so on and so forth. Those are all ideas for later stages. Here you can see the need of this visitor, and for example the toilet need is quite large, or the thirst need, because the visitor used food, which basically means he ate something, or she, and while at the stage the visitor also increased the thirst need. And this is the reason why you should always have a huge variety of drink booths near a stage, because this will happen. They will all go to get something to drink after a concert is finished. Oh, and here's the next song, the next band playing. Which is poor timing from us, because they are all getting something to drink and not actually going to the concert. And for example, this band over here, it's the Toothbrush Sisters. They would be quite unhappy. They would really not be satisfied with this small crowd over here, and they would the reputation with them would not increase that much, because we didn't manage to make it so that the crowd is large enough. We should probably have spread it out a little bit more and make it a little bit more of time between those two concerts. But that's also, I have to mention here, I said it so that every band likes every visitor likes every band. So this is probably not a final game scenario here. But yeah, as you can see, sun is setting. Sun's setting over the desert. Our sculptures are getting lit. Our light chains are getting lit. And I think here is the next band scheduled. Yeah, you can see now all the visitors are going to the stage, where at 8 o'clock the next concert will start. And yeah, I'll leave you for here, and I'll just show you the concerts and everything until this is a great opportunity. I can show you now. This is broken down. There is a chance that buildings get broken down, and now you could call a mechanic. This is just a work in progress thing. That's why it's telling me it's work in progress. But later on you could place down a mechanic hut, and you could call a mechanic, and they would get here and they would repair it without any additional costs. But at the moment I just can click repair. So I am, as the player, I am repairing it, and it costs me money. This is very not balanced and everything, as you can see, but this is the general idea, because if a lot of buildings break down, you're not going to make any profit anymore. So you're better off getting a mechanic. But yeah, thank you for now. I want to leave you with this awesome view on the stage. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, or if you have comments, feedback, questions, please just drop me a message, either in this chat function in the booth here on the right, or write me on Twitter, or yeah, you can find all the links, or write me an email. You can find all the links in the right side of this booth. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a good view of the game, and I hope you liked it. Thank you very much, and have a pleasant day. Bye.